Since week 7 of last season, when Tannehill took over, the Titans have been flat out great. They're 11-3, fourth best in the sport. They score 30 points a game thanks to an offense that's best in the league in red zone efficiency at 85%. The league average is 59%. And so let's talk about these Tennessee Titans, and the football crew is here. As promised, Domonique is here, Ryan, Clark, and Desmond Howard. RC, out of all the things that happened last night, what was your number one takeaway?
I'm still wondering if Josh Norman has stopped barrel rolling on the ground after that stiff arm from Derrick Henry. Listen, we watched Derrick Henry turn Earl Thomas, one of the greatest safeties in this last era, into a lead blocker in the playoffs. And then Josh Norman runs up there, and he's doing his best. He's trying to slap the stiff arm down. He's trying to get the ball out. And then the long arm of the law, the arm that Derrick Henry has been saying is doing a lot of curls, obviously has been doing a lot of triceps and shoulders as well, because you don't do this to grown men who have families to take care of. And Josh Norman is just back on the second week. He punched the ball out last week on Darren Waller for the Las Vegas Raiders, and I guess he figured, let's try it again. This is just a bigger man. And I know that Domonique's on this show, and Domonique's played corner, and he understands what it's like to be in these very precarious positions. But what you don't do is run up there with your chest out, because you end up running back to the car like Debo stole your chain, and your grandma gave you that chain.
I hated to see it happen to a corner, but I do not understand what it's like to experience that, because never was I trying to do that. I strictly followed the Cobra Kai rules when I was playing. You strike first and you strike hard. I'm not trying to slap the ball out. I'm not trying to slap stiff arms down. I'm going 300 miles an hour at your knees. You know who you never been stiff armed by? A knee. I'm running right through them caps, because that ain't gonna happen to me. You can watch all the film from my history from the time I was 6 to the time I retired. Nobody never got me like that, because I wasn't coming up there with my chest out thinking I could slap a stiff arm down or I could poke the ball loose. No, my job is to cover people and to get the guy on the ground. I'm not causing no turnovers right there. I'm taking your knees, all of them. Patella, ACL, MCL, everything. I'm not gonna stand up there going like this. I'm gonna slap the ball. I'm gonna slap y'all. No. None of that. It hurts to see. I'm upset with Josh Norman expose himself like that, but it ain't gonna happen to me.
Okay, fair enough. You told us earlier.
Hey, RC and Domonique, what did the five fingers say to the face?
Slap.
Slap. Man, he stiff armed Josh Norman to another stratosphere. And Nick, I'm with you. I'm thinking the same thing, brother. You have to go to the knees. All of that is waist and below. You don't mess with that grown man up top like that, because he will embarrass you.
Josh Norman out there taking charge.
To see Josh Norman get stiff-armed like that. Crazy.
That is, I will repeat, this play was called back because of offsetting penalties. It actually didn't count, but it is still the most memorable moment of a night that actually has a lot of other significant things to say about it. Ryan, Clark, we went into this night talking about, are the Buffalo Bills one of the big boys in the AFC? Do we come out of it saying, are the Titans good enough to play with anybody?
Yeah, we got to stop treating the Titans like they aren't doing what they're doing, like they aren't putting the film out that says we're 11-3 with Ryan Tannehill as a starter. We were 2-1 in the playoffs and made it to the AFC Championship. This team was 6 for 6 in the red zone last night, and that's not just kicking field goals. They were 6 for 6 with touchdowns, and that's amazing to do. That's amazing efficiency, and Mike Vrabel has this team playing in a way that works for them. They're going to be physical in the run game. The quarterback's going to make great decisions with both his arms and his legs, and they're going to play tough, physical defense. You have to love what they're doing. You have to say to yourself, you know what? No matter how it looks, this team is a contender in the AFC, and all they do is continue to win. They beat a team that we were touting as a contender after going through a COVID scare and a COVID crisis, and you have to commend their ability to compartmentalize and then come out and play a great game.
They only had 3 practices in the last 16 days. And then they go out there and they put a whooping on a Buffalo Bills team that we like a lot. Very quickly, though, Domonique, you were telling me before the show, you actually came out of this game more impressed with Josh Allen rather than less. Why is that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that all the games that they've lost since Josh Allen have been there, most of them have been because Josh Allen made mistakes. And many of the games that they won up until this season were because the defense was playing really well. I feel like last night, Josh Allen wasn't the problem. He threw one bad interception and one interception that was kind of not his fault. but down by a bunch of points, they know you need to pass. He made some incredible throws. I frankly left that game more impressed with Josh Allen than I have been in quite some time, even despite the fact that he's got off to such a great start this season. He didn't make the stupid kind of risky YOLO plays that sometimes he makes where he's lateraling the ball and doing that stuff. He played within himself, and he made some outstanding passes that few quarterbacks in this league can make.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.